We are going to now demonstrate facial bones. There are 5 images to facial bones. We're going to do the PA blowout, the PA Caldwell, the PA Waters, a lateral face, and then we're going to do an SMV, a submento vertical. The first procedure I'm going to start with, remember we wiped the board down already with the patient so they could see it. We're going to start off with the PA, the blowout. The patient's going to be PA against the board. Their nose and forehead's going to be on the board. It's similar to your PA Caldwell. It's an axial projection. We angle 30 degrees down for the blowout. So we're going to go from 90 down to 60. That's our 30 degrees. Your central ray is going to exit about the mid-orbits. So again, I'm going to look at the line on the board, and I'm going to adjust from there. So I am going to lower it just slightly. Good. You're going to tell your patient you're moving the board. You just don't want to start moving it. Again, come behind the patient. Make sure they're nice and straight and they're in the middle. Good. And then we're going to center the tube to the bucky. I'm going to have a right marker on the image receptor. And we need to adjust our collimators so that they are correct. 10 by 12 lengthwise. There is your PA blowout. I asked the patient to stay this way because the next position we're going to do is the PA Caldwell, the PA axial. Basically, the patient is in the same position. The only thing different is the angle of the tube. So, we switched out our image receptor, still right marker. This time, we're going to only angle 15 degrees down. So from 90 minus 15 is 75. Your central ray is going to exit the nasion. So again, your board is correct. I'm going to center up the tube, and there is your PA Caldwell. So you can do your blowout and your Caldwell at the same time. Just ask the patient not to move and just change out your image receptor if you have to. The next position we're going to do is your PA Waters. So you're going to shoot straight for this. Now we're going to ask the patient to put their chin up on the board. Reach up a little bit higher. Good. Okay. You want your MML perpendicular for this image. Your central ray is going to exit the acanthion. If everybody remembers where the acanthion is, it's where the nose meets the upper lip. You're going to make sure this line is at the acanthion. Okay, your 10 by 12 lengthwise again. And centered perfectly. And make sure your patient is nice and straight. Same thing, right marker would still be on the image receptor since they are PA. The next image we'll take is your lateral face. Typically, we do a left lateral. Unless the patient has damage to the right side, you would do your left lateral. And again, since we're doing left, we're going to change our markers out. For the left lateral, I'd like to see you collimate down to 8 by 10. You do not have to have it open to 10 by 12 for this one. You're going to place the left side of the head face against the board. Good. Your central ray is going to be directed at the malar bone or your zygomatic bone. So I'm actually going to move her back just a tiny bit. Come down a tiny bit. There we go. Again, tell your patient you're going to move the board because I can see that her shoulder might be in the way. Good. There is your left lateral facial bones. The next image we're going to take is your SMV. So now the patient's going to turn, so their back is against the board. This is a position that you want to be ready for. You don't want the patient to head back too long because it's very uncomfortable for the patient. So make sure your image receptor is in the bucky. Switch it out. Okay. Make sure you have the correct marker on there, which would be the left. Make sure your collimators are correct, 10 by 12 lengthwise again. Now you're going to ask the patient to drop their head back. SMV is submentic vertex. So the vertex of their head is on the board. You can see how uncomfortable that can be. Your central ray is going to enter right below the chin, but like halfway between the outer canthus and the EAM. So you can kind of see the shadow. I am going to move the board slightly down, so tell your patient, kind of hold them steady in there. Okay? And there is your SMV. She's in the middle. We're doing that for your arches. They want to look at the zygomatic arches on this view. Okay. That's the last one for your facial bones, and we're finished that procedure.